Okay, good afternoon po. So, my name is Teacher Shaira and I'll be the reporter for today po. So, my topic is about birth and newborn. So, in this chapter po, I would be discussing about the different methods of giving birth or the preparation po. And also, we're gonna describe po the different stages of vaginal delivery and also explain why induction and cesarean section may be necessary for woman who's giving birth, and also differentiate the common procedure for assessing the condition of newborn. And also, we're gonna be examine the problems, yung mga problems ng mga newborn or experiencing before, during, and after giving birth. So, let's take a look for the both process of birth and some attributes of the newborn. So, first, we need to consider the preparation or preparing for childbirth. So, prepared childbirth refers to being not only in good physical condition to help provide a healthy environment for the baby to develop. So, but also it also help individual or hini-help din po niya yung individuals to prepare to accept their new roles as parents. And additionally, sa mga parents po na yun, they can receive more information and training that will assist them for delivery and life with the baby. So we need to be prepared, okay, that only for having a child or giving childbirth, okay, and also, this one can help the future parents to learn more about childbirths and the newborn, for them to be prepared for the things that they need to do for the adjustment that they will gonna have, because there will be a new life that they will be taking care of. So, what are the things that we need to be prepared for? Okay? So, there are different approaches po sa panganganak, okay, or sa pagkakaroon ng anak. So, those approaches, okay, those different approaches are the things that we need to do, okay, to influence how expectant parents, okay, be prepared. So, the following approaches to childbirths are this po. So, the Limes method. Second is the Leboyer method. Third is Dick Reed method or Mongan method na sinasabi natin. And then the Bradley method and water birth, lotus birth, silent birth, and medicated childbirth. So these approaches po, we will be able to talk about them one by one. So let's have first the Limes method. So the Limes method emphasize on teaching, okay, the woman to be in control in the process of delivery. So in this method, it includes the learning master relaxation, okay, breathing through construction of a woman, having a focal point during construction, kung paano ba niya mapofocus, okay, yung utak niya to the breathing method. And also, for having a support, okay, to the person who goes through training with her in this process. So, with the mother, pwedeng yung mother or yung mother ng manganganak as the that we will gonna serve as coaches during the delivery na push, pull, something like that, or breathe in, breathe out. Okay, that is the method and the Limes, okay, method or approaches. So, ganun siya pinapractice on how does the woman will do the breathing in the process of delivery sa panganganak po. So, on giving birth. Next is the Leboyer method. This method involves giving birth in a quiet, okay, dimly light room and allowing the newborn to lie on the mother's stomach with the umbilical cords intact for several minutes while giving a warm bath. So, in this method, so pag nanganganak po or if a mother is giving birth to a baby, okay, the place is quiet and the light is very dimly. And here, after the mothers give birth, they will allow, okay, the newborn baby to lie on the mother's stomach while yung umbilical cords niya is still, okay, intact pa din for several minutes habang binabat yung baby. Just like on the picture. And next one is the Dickered method or the Mongan method. So this method comes from the suggestion that the fear of childbirth increases tensions and make the process childbearing more painfully. So in here, I think here in this Dickered method, ito yung parang kapag ang isang hindi prepare ang isang woman sa manganganak at natatakot siya, I think there's a possibility na mas nahihirapan or mas nahihirapan siya or painful for her ang magkaroon or mag-bear ng child. So, that is the Dickered method. So, kung natatakot ka or if the fear always consume you, so, the tendency is the process of bearing child will be more painful. So, in this method, it's like, it will gonna emphasize the use of or relaxation or yung proper breathing. Kasi kung natatakot ka nga, yung proper breathing with construction as well yung kailangan dito yung family support or some education about how will you gonna deliver the baby. So, next is we have the Bradley method. So, the Bradley method focuses on preparing the mother for natural childbirth coached by her partner. So, natural childbirth means ito yung normal, yung sinasabi nating normal delivery of the baby. So, in this part, okay, both partner or yung partner or the partner of the one who's giving birth will be like a coach to her. So, they will learn, or both of them, they will learn the techniques to reduce the perception of pain and para ma-relax yung magdi-deliver ng baby. To emphasize on being prepared, okay, or assisted or the vaginal birth without medication para parang mabawasan, okay, yung pain na nararamdaman nung mother na nagigive ng birth, especially if it's natural way or yung normal, okay, giving birth of a parent. So, in here, the partner will be like the support or nandyan siya sa tabi nung ating mother na nagigive birth to a child. So, to easy the pain, ano ba yung dapat gawin para mas stay relaxed? So, nandyan lang siya. It's like, the partner will be the one who will gonna make the one who's giving birth to stay relaxed. Parang ganun siya. Okay, next is the water birth. So, water births, okay, involve immersions in warm water. So, ito po yung dito nanganganak ka sa tubig. Ayan. So, some proponents here in the water birth believe na this method is safe and provided many benefits for both mother and the baby or the infant. So, parang it's include parang nag-aano siya ng pain, parang nagre-reduce or nagre-relief ng pain, okay, habang nakababad sa tubig habang nanganganak. And parang nagbibigay siya ng less traumatic birth experience for the baby. Pero, however, okay po, there are some critics na nag-argue that the procedures introduced or yung procedure na to daw or yung water birth ay unnecessary risk for the infant. Kasi naniniwala sila or they think, okay, or they believe that infection or pwede daw magkaroon ng infection yung infant or yung baby, or pwedeng sa panganganak na to, pwede niyang inhale yung water, okay, or mag-consume ng baby yung water. So may mga critic pa din po. Okay, next naman is the water bird. Lotus bird, okay, are umbilical cords non-severance, okay, or what we call the UCNS, is the practice of leaving the umbilical cords uncut after childbirth, so the baby is left attached to the placenta until the cords naturally separated. So in here po, okay, this is this one, okay, so pagkalabas ng baby, okay, they will also remove the placenta of the mother. So magkadugtong yon, and this type of giving birth or this type of method usually occurs, hinihintay nila na parang kusang matatanggal yung umbilical cords, okay, or hintay nila na kusang matanggal. So usually yung ganito, it occurs with parang within 3 to 10 days after births, and then usually naniniwala sila that this practice is performed mainly lang for spiritual purposes ng mga parents or yung may mga paniniwala, okay, sa mga they have the perceive in the spiritual connection between the placenta and the newborn. So yung mga naniniwalang ay halaga or may something spiritually with the placenta and the newborn baby, or may connection between them. Next is what we call the silent birth. So silent birth, sometimes known as the quiet birth. It is birthing procedure advised by L.R. Hubbard. So some and also some advocated like yung mga Scientologists na in this method, in this silent birth, they advocate na habang nanganganak daw, okay, or while some parents are giving birth, okay, everyone in the room that is attending, okay, the birth, okay, should refrain from spoken words or wag silang magsalita as much as possible. Kaya tinawag po siguro na silent birth method. So, they believe or nag-advocate yung ibang scientists here in this method na lahat daw ng tao sa delivery room kapag may nanganganak, kailangan ay tahimik. So, next naman is okay, this one, the medicated childbirth. So, the medicated childbirth, okay, method, it is the healthcare providers or can provide pain relief during labor with different types of medication, including epidural spinal blocks, combined spinal epidurals, and systematic and local analgesia. So, ito yung common, I think this is the common preparation or approaches, okay, the medicated. So, in here, in the medicated childbirth, okay, this is usually the one that we always go or inaalagaan na tayo ng mga healthcare providers, okay, para ma-relieve yung pain na nararamdaman during the labor, okay, of one parent, okay. And okay, after these approaches, we'll be discussing naman or the things that we need to consider pa, like choosing the location of childbirth and kung sino ba yung magdi-deliver ng baby, kung sino ba yung magpapaanak sa isang parents. So, in here, okay, the vast majority of births occur in hospital setting. So, usually daw po, karamihan, sa ospital nanganganak. However, parang 1% of women, okay, pinipili pa rin na manganak sa bahay based on Martin Hamilton, Osterman, Curtin, and Matthew 2015. So, they believe that women daw who are at loss risk for parang birth complication can successfully deliver sa bahay. Pero parang more than half or mga 60% po siguro of home deliveries are certified, parang yung mga nagpapanganak po sa kanila ay hindi doktor, kundi mga nurse midwife. So, yung mga nurse midwife, they are the trained and licensed to assist po na nagdi-deliver ng bata or nagpapaanak ng bata. Kasi mas mura nga naman po ang nagpapaanak ng normal compare kapag, diba, maniwala man pa tayo o hindi, mas mahal ang mga anak sa hospital kesa sa bahay. So, however, okay, hindi lahat, okay, parang kayang mga anak normal or in the normal settings or normal natural giving birth, I mean, because some pregnancies or during the pregnancy, some complication, okay, or pwedeng nagkakaroon ng complication during the birth process. So, most of the medical professional parang nire-recommend nila that you should be taking or you should be having or idini-deliver dapat yung panganganak sa hospital or ang panganganak ay dapat sa hospital. So, next. Okay, onset labor. So, ito na yung childbirth typically occurs within a week of woman's due date unless the woman is pregnant with more than one fetus who usually causes her to go into labor already. So, as the pregnancy process into parang its final week, several parang physiological changes can occur in response sa parang nag-trigger to the hormones of the labor. So, in this part, okay, we'll be having the childbirth here. It's like it's a common sign na that a labor or dito nag-start na yung labor is beginning na, and parang ang iba't sinatawag nila itong bloody show. So, as the labor going nears, okay, yung mother, okay, mas nasasaktan na siya or nagbibigin na yung stimulate or nag-stimulate na yung stronger and more painful uterine contraction niya. So, mas sumasakit na yung nararamdaman nung parents or nung mother na nag-labor on the onset labor. So, after this, okay, in this labor, we have the stages, okay, or the stages of birth for the vaginal delivery. So, andito na. The first stage, we have what we call the first stage, second stage, and the third stage. Okay, so, stages of birth for vaginal delivery or yung tinatawag natin na normal delivery. Okay? So, the first stage, okay? So, in this stage, usually, okay, the uterine's contraction significantly that the parang first stage of labor will begin. And this contraction may initially last for about 30 seconds and be spaced like mga 15 to 20 minutes apart. This increase the duration and frequency to more than a minute length, about 3 to 4 minutes apart. So, ito, ayan, yung pag sinusukat na nila kung ilang cm na lang bago lalabas si baby. That is the first stage, yung okay. Ayan. As we can look, okay, to the picture, okay, on the left side, okay, makikita natin na inside the womb, we have the amniotic fluid with uterus, and then the cervix and the vagina. So here, kapag ganyan pa lang po siya, ibig sabihin malayo pa or hindi pa pwedeng lumabas si baby on the first stage. While here, kapag parang yung sinasabi nilang 10 cm na lang, ibig sabihin malapit na siyang lumabas. That is the first stage. And ito yung masakit, I think, okay, sa part ng mommy or ng parents na nanganganak kapag nagle-labor siya, especially on the first stage. Okay, and usually the first stage of labor, the first stage, ito yung pinaka matagal. Lalo na yung sa cervix part or yung opening ng uterus. Ayan. Na usually dapat 10 cm or just under 4 inches pa lang dapat na yung ulo ni baby or dapat makita na. And usually, ito parang sinasabi nila this may take around 12 to 16 hours para for the first child, or about 6 to 9 hours for woman we have parang previously or yung mga nakapanganak na. Okay, ganung oras yung mas mabilis na compare sa mga bagong parents pa lang na magkakaroon or kakaroon ng baby. And also, sa labor, ito yung may also begin with the discharge of blood. Ito yung pag halimbawa malapit ka ng mga anak, sabihin nila, pumutok na yung panumigan, something like that. But if the water broke, so yung tinatawag nating amniotic fluid po. Next stages is the next stages or the second stages. So, in these stages, okay, the passage of the baby, ito na po yung passage kung paano i-deliver yung baby. So, the passage of the baby through the birth canal is the second stage of labor, kung paano ilalabas na po yung baby. So, this stage take about parang nasa 10 to 40 minutes. And yung contraction usually yung pagsakit or parang yung paglabas or kung kailan i-ire, okay, usually come about parang 2 to 3 minutes, and then the mother will gonna push and push, okay? Yun ang parang nagiging role ni mommy dito kapag normal delivery. And relaxes as directed by the medical staff. So, usually kapag ganun, may the one who will be with us, sila yung nagsasabi if we were gonna push, relax, okay, kapag nilalabas na yung ating baby. Okay? And, sorry po. Normally, okay, in the second stage, kapag nilalabas na yung baby, as we can see in the first picture on the upper part, nauuna pong lumalabas is yung ulo ni baby. So, after that, the midwife or yung nagde-deliver sa baby, it's parang may rotation na ginagawa, okay, to what do you call it, to get out the baby, parang sa shoulder. Kasi, habang lumalabas ang baby, dun siya nag-expand or lumalaki kapag nahanginan na siya. So, okay, the baby here, they will gonna rotate it or rotated so that one shoulder can parang come through to the other shoulder. Parang hihilain siya paunti-unti palabas na nun. So that, and then, ayan, on the third, on the number 3, ayan, deliver of posterior shoulder, ayan na, hinihila na siya until on the number 4, okay, what do you call it, the rest of the part of the body ng baby, they can pull it or para maka-quickly pass siya sa okay, sa what do you call it, on the vagina of the mother. Ayan, hanggang sa mailabas nila with the umbilical cords. Ayan. So, next, the third stages. Okay, in this let's go back to the additional po dun sa second stages. Dito, kapag labas ng baby, okay, usually the midwife or yung nagpaanak, they will perform yung parang mouth and nose or yung nose and mouth ng baby. They will gonna sanction it out, parang ano nila, what do you call it, may tinatanggal sila doon sa mouth and nose ng baby, parang siguro clog dahil nasa loob ng tiyan or ng womb ni mother. And then in here, okay, yung umbilical cord also nila dun sa chapter 2 po, they will gonna clamp it, tapos ikakat nila yung umbilical cords ni baby. And then here, on the third stages po, okay, the after birth delivery, which is, okay, as we can see on the picture, or the final stage of labor, okay, which is parang mas painless na siya compare habang nagdi-deliver ka ng baby. So, during this stage po, the placenta, okay, as we can see here, on the other side, yung pula po, that is the placenta. Nilalabas siya, or they will get it after, usually kapangapanganak, after mga 20 minutes, yan. Okay, so parang pine-perform nila dito yung episiotomy na sinasabi po nila. And then, after that, pag nailabas na po yung placenta na yon, they will gonna stitch up na yung or tatahiin na nila yung ng parents dito. Next stage. Okay, and this stages na to, they are all what we call the natural childbirth or yung panganganak na normal. So, ganun po yung process niya kapag nanganganak ng normal or the normal childbirth. So, women also can parang have alternate positions sa panganganak ng normals, like parang standing, squatting, parang being hands on the knee, okay, or using a birth stool, or labor habang nagle-labor sila, and even yung kanina yung water, yung sa method or approaches, yung water birth, okay, para like nare-relieve yung pain, okay, sa panganganak. And okay, there's also medical intervention in childbirth. So some women cannot go into labor, or hindi sila nakakapag-labor on their own, or cannot deliver vaginally. And hindi kasi lahat ng parents or ng woman ay kayang manganak ng natural birth. Okay? Some, kasi may mga medical intervention or may mga causes na nangyayari sa panganganak, like let's look sa parang mga induction of labor or yung cesarean section na sinasabi natin. Kasi sometimes may mga arrival, or sometimes the arrival of baby may need to be included before the labors begin naturally, yung tinatawag natin induction of labor. So maybe recommend for the variety reason. Ayan, yung pag sinabi po kasi natin induction labor, ito yung cesarean section or kailangan CS, okay, ang ating parents na manganganak. So, ito yung mga intervention na yon. Bakit nga ba kailangan ganito at hindi siya pwedeng natural or hindi pwedeng normal na mga anak yung parents natin. So, first, if the mother is approaching 2 weeks beyond due to her date and labor has not started yet. So, parang hindi pa, okay? So, malapit na yung due date niya, pero hindi pa rin siya nagli-labor. So, that is one. Next is the mother's water has broken, but the contraction has not begun. So, pumutok na yung panong bigan, pero hindi pa rin, okay, nararamdaman ni mommy na kailangan na niyang ilabas si baby. Next is there is an infection in the mother's uterus, or may infection daw yung uterus ng mother. Or, next is, pwedeng the baby has stopped growing at the expected pace. So, parang nag-stop yung pag-grow or yung pagde-develop ni baby inside the body. So, sometimes, kailangan na tinatanggal na yon, or kailangan, there's something wrong with that. So, yeah, hindi siya pwede. Next naman is the health problem in the mother. Kung may health problem si mother, like pwedeng may sakit sa puso, or yan. Kasi mahihirapan kasi there's the breathing, di ba? Sa panganganak or pagigib birth. And also, if not enough room for the baby to go through the vagina. So, dito siguro yung kung malaki si baby, okay, or yung size ni baby is masyadong malaki. Ayan. So, next is the position of the baby, such as breech, presentation, where the head is not in the downwards position. So, in this one, ito yung siguro nakabaliktad yung position ng baby. Ang nauuna is yung paa. May mga ganun kasi. Or, puwet. Yan, ganun. So, yun yung mga intervention. Kaya hindi pwedeng mag-normal delivery ang isang parents. Next naman is, ayan. That's why we have the C-section na sinasabi natin, or ito yung ito yung alternative ways, okay, sa panganganak, okay? So, C-sections are also common among women, especially carrying more than one baby, kagaya ng mga nagkakaroon ng twins. Although the surgery is relatively safe for mother and baby, it is considered major surgery and carry health risk pa din. Additionally, it also takes longer to recover from a C-section than the vaginal birth. Kasi ang vaginal births, sabi nila, mas madali kang makaka-recover compare when you have the C-section. So, in here, after parang healing, okay, the incision parang sa C-section may leave a weak spot, parang, kasi nga, they will gonna cut you open sa C-section. So, this would cause a problem with parang nagkakaroon din siya ng, halimbawa kapag nanganak ka, and then, yung first baby mo, you will gonna have the C-section. So, after that, pag magkakaroon ka na ng second baby, or if you will gonna attempt to have another baby, parang mahihirapan. Okay? Mahihirapan ka ng mag-normal kung nauna ang C-section and then mag-normal giving birth ka. So, in here, parang nagkaka-cause daw po siya, some doctor says that can cause problem, okay, with an attempted vaginal birth later. So, parang in the past, yung mga doctor, okay, parang hesitant sila to allow the vaginal birth after a C-section. However daw, okay, ngayon, okay, parang more than half of the women, parang will have C-section na, nag-go on to have a vaginal births that parang ang sinasabi nila, or they will gonna refer that, or may tinatawag silang term na vaginal birth after cesarean. So, yung VBAC na sinasabi po nila. Okay, so that is about giving birth. Now, after giving birth, of course, we will gonna have the newborn. Okay? The newborn, okay, how can we assess? Paano ba ina-assess yung mga newborn babies? ano ba yung typical problems ng mga newborn, and also ano yung mga characteristic of the newborn. So, okay, let's have the assessing newborn. So, assessing newborn, the Apgar assessment is conducted 1 minute, okay, and 5 minutes after birth. So, after makapanganak or after naipanganak si baby, so nagkakaroon ng assessment. So, tinitignan nung nagpaanak or nung midwife or ng doctor, okay, kung tama ba yung tama ba yung appearance if these are the things that they are looking in the APGAR assessment or APGAR assessment. So, tinitignan nila yung appearance, yung pulse, yung grimace, activities, or respiration ng newborn. So, in here, parang sinasabi nila na, okay, more than 7 is normal. Okay, normal lang ang kalagayan ni baby or the newborn. Kapag naman 4 to 6, it's low, and less than 3, it's critical. So, tinitignan nila after kapanganak niyan is yung kulay or the appearance of the baby. Kung blue ba or yung kulay ba ng kanyang balat. Ayan. Okay. Yung coloration na tinatawag po nila, kung blue all over ba siya, blue extremities, and no blue coloration. Susunod, tinitignan din nila or they-assess the pulse, kung no pulse, yung beat ng heart ng baby, and also, yung grimace or yung no response stimulation, ayan, grimace on stimulation, and cry on stimulation. So, ito yung, ang alam ko dito, yung papaluin nila. And then, kung iiyak ba or may response ba yung baby kapanganak, yung tatampalin nila yung puwet, tapos kung iiyak ba, may iyak, ayan, ganon. And then, kung mararamdaman ba, siguro dito ina nila kung ano yung nararamdaman ba ng baby yung pain. And then, next is yung kung may movement, may reflections, ayan. Tinitignan nila kung okay ba yung situation ng baby kapag kapanganak niya or kalabas niya. And also, yung respiration niya, yung paghinga. Ayan, kung through crying kasi malalaman nila. Okay, kung okay ba, regular ba, weak, slow, or ayan. The more na mas malakas ang iyak ng baby, okay, the more na mas okay siya. Ayan. So, that is the assessing or yan yung ways na ginagawa nila. So, yan, sabi niya, what do you call it? Parang ito yung nagbibigay ng overall assessment, okay, sa condition po ng isang newborn. Okay. I-measure nila yung heart rate niya, respiration, yan po, yung mga nasa picture. Next po. Okay, newborns, okay, also have the assessment. Yan. Sa newborns po, di ba, typically, nag-aano sila ng screening. Okay? Parang, may sinasabi sila yun, yung newborn screening po. And then, kung saan, for parang mga different condition, parang, within the first 24 hours or 44 hours after a birth, kailangan magawa yun. Ayan, usually ginagawa yon, okay, lalo na sa mga nanganganak po sa hospital. Nag-go sila or nag-undergo po sila sa simple heel stick, yung drops of blood, kinukuhanan sila ng dugo para malaman. Okay, they will gonna have it, parang iti-test po nila yung dugo ng baby, yun yun. And also, kumbaga, those tests or parang, inaano po nila kung anong it will have the variety of parang different congenital disorder, kung may something po ba or sa condition ng babies is may mali ba, yan. Okay, and also Okay, malalaman din or can have parang meron din yung tinatawag nating newborn screening for hearing disorder din ng mga bata or ng newborn kung meron ba, and certain serious heart problem, okay? Using po yung pagkuha lang ng dugo sa kanila. Now, we also have encounter yung mga problems sa newborn. Ano po ba yung mga problems na yon? Okay, na i-encounter natin sa mga newborn baby. So, we have the anosmia. Okay? Anosmia is a temporary lack of oxygen to the brain. So, ito yung pagkapanganak, they have parang difficulty or yung during the delivery, they have difficulty na nagli-lead to anosmia that can result po na to a brain damage or like severe cases na pwede mag-cause ng death ng isang bata kapag kapanganak or ng newborn. Okay? And usually, the babies who suffer both low in this one low birth weight and anosmia are more likely to suffer or nagkakaroon sila ng parang learning disability. Nagkakaroon sila ng learning disability as later, okay, on their life. Parang pag habang lumalaki sila, nagkakaroon sila ng difficulty or nagkakaroon sila ng mga nakikita yung or nagkakaroon ng learning disability, nahihirapang pumikap as they develop or habang lumalaki sila. So, next naman is commonly problem also of a newborn or nagiging problem sa mga newborn is, okay, the low birth weight. So, a child is considered low birth weight if he or she weight less than 5 pounds or 8 ounce. Okay? 5 pounds, 8 ounce. So, ayan, yung kulang. Okay? Yung kulang yung kanyang timbang or yung kanyang weight. Ayan, madalas or problems ng mga newborn baby. Next is the preterm. Okay? Kasi on the low birth weight, okay, the baby, okay, has difficulty parang to maintain their adequate parang body temperature kasi nga naglalak sila ng fat, so they parang ginagawa nila, they would parang provide parang insulation for them sa mga baby na low birth weight. Kasi parang the more or they are prone for infections, parang ganun ang pwedeng mangyari sa mga low birth weight na newborn. Next naman is preterm. A newborn might also have a low birth weight if it is born less than 37 weeks gestation, which qualifies it to us a preterm baby. So, ito yung an early birth. Okay? Ayan. An early birth or yung hindi mo pa due pero lumabas na si baby. So, early birth can parang trigger or ang nagtitrigger sa ganito usually yung cause bakit nga ba nagkakaroon or bakit hindi mo pa due pero lalabas na si baby, parang ganun. So, there are some things that can trigger it. So, example, yung parang yung mother system, for instance, nagkaroon ng vaginal infections, okay, na nag-lead para sa premature birth. Kasi yung preterm, yan din po yung tinatawag natin na premature baby. Okay, na pwedeng because of the infection, kaya kailangang ilabas na si baby. Or meron din naman na parang ibang trigger, like parang if the environment of mother is not good, like parang smoking or parang gumagamit ng teratogens or pwedeng mag-lead yon to have a preterm. Okay? So, we should be always parang, if you are a pregnant woman, you should be able talaga dapat maingat ka. Ayan. So that we won't be we won't be able to encounter this problem. Next is okay. Oh wait, sorry. Okay, next is the post-mature. Okay, When babies are not born by 47 weeks gestation or 2 weeks after the due date, they are considered overdue or for post-mature. So, kanina premature. Ibig sabihin, maagang inilabas even though it is not the due of the mother. Now naman is post-mature. Ibig sabihin, you already due but hindi mo pa din or hindi pa din lumalabas si baby. Okay, that is what we call post-mature. So, parang there are some concerns about how long the placenta parang can function. Parang it's about there's something wrong with the placenta of the mother. Kaya parang overdue na, hindi pa din lumalabas si baby. And next is the stillborn. So, when a fetus or the unborn baby dies while still inside the mother, or kapag nasa loob pa daw po siya ng womb ni mother, after 20 to 24 weeks gestation or dies during delivery or childbirth, is what we call the stillborn. So, parang, this is, it is said na, that the delivered baby is still born kahit pa namatay siya inside the womb or inside of the mother. So, some the causes, okay, may cause, bakit ba nangyayari yon? So, some causes are still unknown or even parang with a special test to learn the cause. May possibility, okay, parang na kaya nangyayari yon is because pwedeng yung mother is may na take na something like nicotine, alcohol, or drugs, okay, na take ng mother during the pregnancy. Okay, or pwede naman din na nagkaroon ng parang physical trauma, parang radiation poisoning, or mga disease, or pwede ring yung umbilical cords, okay, pwedeng, may mga cases kasi na yung umbilical cords pwedeng what do you call it? Pumalupot, okay, in the baby inside the body that can cause it to parang nasakal or yeah. So, yan yung mga parang causes bakit ba nangyayari or nadaday or namamatay yung fetus inside the womb of the mother. So, okay, next is we have the characteristic of the newborn. So, ano-ano ba yung mga characteristic ng mga newborns? So, we have the size, okay? The average newborn in the United States weighs about 7.5 pounds and is about to parang 20-inch length. So, yung size ng baby is one of the characteristic of a newborn. So, nasa 7.5 and is about 20 inches in length yung laki or haba ni newborn or the baby. Kasi typically, 'di ba, the parang for the first few days parang yung mga babies, they are very small. Okay? So the size and parang maliit sila. Okay, that is their size of or yung size ng baby is maliit. And then as parang maybe unnoticedly or often siguro this is unnoticed by most of the parents pero na tingin nila is parang ang liit naman ng batang ito. That's because of the weight loss na parang temporary lang. Pero okay, it will be followed also by the rapid period growth of the baby, especially kapag nasanay na sila sa feeding, kasi mag-drink na yan ng milk, ayan, lalaki pa din yung mga newborns natin, yung mga babies. Next is body proposition. Okay, body proposition, the head initially makes up about 50% of our entire length when we are developing in the womb. So, nung nasa womb pa lang tayo, unang nagde-develop is the head. So, mas malaki ang head compare sa body. But, okay, in here, as we grow, okay, yung ulo natin is not lumiliit, okay? As we develop or as the body proportion develop from infancy to adulthood, okay, mas lumalaki or parang lumiliit yung ating head rather than our body. Pero pag baby ka or nasa loob ka pa lang ng tiyan, you're still in the womb, mas malaki ang head, okay? Nasa 50% ang head ng fetus. Yeah. Next is, okay, one thing or isa pa sa mga characteristic of the newborn is the brain development. So, some of the most dramatic physical changes that occurs during the period is in the brain. So, okay, at birth, okay, the brain is about only parang nasa 25%. It's adult weight. So, parang, ito, yan. So, next is the appearance at birth. So, during labor, here, okay, during labor, at birth, the infant's skull change shapes to fit through the birth canal. So, yung ulo or yung bumbunan, yan, ng mga babies, okay, is malambot pa yan. Yan, yung mga bones nila, okay, to fit the canal sometimes causes the child to be born with misshapen and elongated head. So, sometimes, siguro yung mga may babies na, okay, mapapansin nila na the head of their babies parang hindi pantay. Okay? But, okay, that is because of the, what do you call it? Dahil malambot yung skulls ng mga babies so that they can fit in the birth canal of the mother. So, but, okay, this part, okay, it will usually return naman to the normal or its own shape within the few days or week. And isa pa, next is the one, what do you call it? Parang, the appearance, okay? Meron pa, additional, if you will gonna notice, the newborns, meron silang mga, if you will gonna look at their back, usually, or shoulder or yung foreheads nila, and ears, or bandang ears, meron silang, what do you call it? Yung mga hair, yan, medyo makakapal na hair po, parang ganun. So, those, parang downy body hair, yung mga yon, yung parang maliliit or maninipis na buhok na meron sila sa body, especially sa likod, na sa shoulder nila, sa likod, sa forehead nila, ang tawag po dun is lanugo. Okay? And those lanugo naman, or yung mga hair naman po na yun, will also disappear parang within after a weeks, okay? And hindi rin naman, or siguro some lang, okay? Hindi rin naman po lahat ng infants ay pinanganak na ganun, or born with the lush heads of hair. So, yung lanugo po na sinasabi natin. Sa may, parang yung iba nga po na baby are bald. And yung iba naman, very, very fine, or ayos lang, okay? Yung kanilang mga hairs in the body. Parang yung mga almost visible hair lang na meron sila. And, yung iba pa nga po, they have sometimes may, yung hair, yung color ng hair nila is parang blonde. Okay. Next naman po is, how do babies sleep? Okay, or the characteristic of the newborn is always sleep. Okay, a newborn typically sleep approximately like 15 to 5 hours per 24 hours period. So, pag newborn ka, or if you're a baby, you always sleep, okay? Sleep. Okay, or the infant slept in several periods of day, like the day and night, yan. So, lagi silang natutulog. That is one of their characteristic also. Next is reflexes. So, sa reflexes, newborns are equipped with a number of reflexes which are involuntary movements in response to stimulation. So, some of the most common or more common reflexes are like yung sucking reflex, ayan, yung rooting reflex, okay, lalo na kapag nagdedede sila, ayan, and also yung pag-grasp, parang grasping nila, yung pag hinawakan nila or yung kamay ng mga baby kapag may grasp sila, yan. That is called also reflexes ng isang newborn. Okay, na eventually will be replaced by more voluntary behavior na. Parang itong mga ito within the first few months of their life. Okay, parang these reflexes will gonna disappear. Pero other reflexes, parang such as yung eye blink, marunong na silang nagbe-blink, and yung swallowing, sneezing, and gaggling, and ayan, yung mga yon. So, napapalitan, okay, yung reflexes nila. Okay. Usually, yung grasping, yan, yung sucking, only will to parang few months, yan. Next is, we're gonna have also the vision. Okay, the womb is dark environment void of visual stimulation. So, kapag nasa loob ka pa lang ng womb, or if you're the fetus, if it's inside the womb, okay, it's very dark or parang wala, void in the visual. So, parang wala silang nakikita. Okay? And, okay, parang this vision parang is mostly kapag napanganak na yan. Pag lumabas yung mga baby, hindi yan agad nakakakita or they have a very poor, okay, o parang poor pa yung kanilang vision. So, parang ito, nagde-develop lang siya through time. Habang lumalaki siya, parang nagiging visual or nagiging clear or yung kanilang nakikita. Usually, parang they will just parang what do you call it, they cannot see, parang hindi pa nila gaanong nakikita kung ano yung nasa paligid nila. Okay, kapag kapanganak, especially sa mga newborn. Next is the hearing. Okay, the infant's sense of hearing is very keen at birth, and the ability to hear is evident as soon as the 7th month of prenatal development. So, here in this hearing, okay, even though you're still at the womb or nasa womb ka pa, the hearing of the newborn, of the baby, or very, very clear, clean, or parang napaka-clear na, or malakas na yung kanilang pandinig. So, for them, kapag kapanganak, okay, their sense of hearing is very keen. Very evidence na. Naririnig na nila, nasisense na nila yung kanilang, or everything around them, they can hear it clearly. In fact, pa nga, an infant can parang distinguish na at this point between the very similar sounds as a 1 month after birth. So, ganon ka linaw or clear ang kanilang pandinig. And also, parang they can also distinguish na the very familiar or unfamiliar voice that they will even hear. That's why and also they are very sensitive to sounds, okay, yung mga newborn. Okay, next is the touch and pain. Okay, Immediately after birth, the newborn is sensitive to touch, temperature, and is all highly sensitive to pain. So, responding to this, kapag ganyan, they usually, yung mga baby na, if they feel something or uneasy, or hindi sila okay, they will respond with cry, okay, or so umiiyak, okay. And next characteristic of the newborn is their what do you call it, the taste and the smell. So in the taste and smell, okay, the studies of taste, smells, demonstration that the baby responds with different facial expression, suggestion that certain that preference are innate, like newborns can distinguish between the sour, bitter, sweet, salty flavor, and show a preference for a sweet flavor. So newborns here also prefer the smell dito. Sa smell, yung smell ng mother nila. So, okay? So, gustong-gusto nila yon. Ayan. Next is, okay, that is the last one na po pala. As for the conclusion, in this chapter, okay, so this chapter will look at the methods, different methods po of childbirth preparation. Like, ano ba yung mga methods na yan? Yung Delame's method. Next is the Laboyer methods. Next is the Dickred method, so the mga Mongan methods, the Burley methods, water birth, lotus birth, silent birth, and also the medicated childbirth. And also the process of childbirth. Okay, we also be able to discuss that po from the first stage, second stage to third stage. Also assessing, okay, the newborn's health. Okay, kung paano ba ina-assess, okay, ang newborn baby and the problems of the newborn's baby, and also the characteristic of the newborn's baby. So that would be my report for the chapter 3, birth and newborn topic. So thank you po for listening.